So my neighbor Bob got a hold of me, and apparently he had a locust tree fall down across his driveway. I says, hey, you want me to clean that up? So that's about 25 foot of locust. Went over to his house in the Ultratech dump trailer, loaded it up after I cut him, started splitting it. But what I wanted to talk about is the versatility of the 17VS real quick. That isn't what the video is about, but I just wanted to show you guys something, what these things can do and why I prefer a vertical over any other splitter out there in the market. The 17VS can split boiler wood. There's your boiler wood. The 17VS can split fireplace wood for heating. And it can split cooking wood. The 17VS can split bundle wood. Here's one of my favorites the 17VS can do that most of the others can't, and that is split kindling wood. So as you can see, the 17VS by Wolfridge vertical splitter can split kindling, can split bundle wood, can split heating wood, can split cooking wood, can split campfire wood, can split boiler wood, everything that all you guys out there really use. So when everybody out there is arguing over which machine's best, a vertical, horizontal, Wolfridge, Easton made, doesn't really matter. I pick the splitter that can cut the best ice cream cake. And I'm sure all of you know how hard it is to cut ice cream cake. Sectioned up into 8 juicy looking pieces. You won't do that with your horizontal splitter. That's why I stick with a vertical. Best way to cut ice cream cake ever. So let's quit messing around. We know that these splitters are all wonderful. Let's get back to the real reason that I shot this video. So you guys might be wondering, where the heck have you been, Doug? Well, I've been up there, archery hunting. First off, I got the driveway portion put in front of the shed here. And if you guys watched a couple videos back, just put this brand new shed in and put the gravel in. And what I used here is it's a number 8 crushed limestone, and it's a clean crushed limestone. And when you put a plate compactor on and run this stuff over this, it's like cement. It's really nice and hard. And I put this over top of the crushed limestone. We call it a 2A, from about an inch down to fines. And then I put this as a top dress on it to make it really, really nice. But let's go in and check out the shed here and show you what I've got done. First off, some things you don't normally see with a shed. Put a garage door opener in it. Put electric in, and got it all wired up, and we'll show you what we've got. I brought electric from the electric panel of this garage underground to the shed, over and around. Comes up from underground to a box, and then I've got outlets and lights and switches in here. Put a 3-way switch in here. Got my lights up through the ceiling, and another 3-way switch back here at the door. Some outlets for battery tenders. You guys just watched the video on the Buffalo Turbine Blitz blower. That video is doing really well, so I appreciate that. We're almost at 50,000 views on that one, which is very good for my channel. Got some more outlets over on this side. Something else, if you guys know anybody that's interested, I've got a John Deere 855 that I'm looking to sell. Once I sold the 3-point hitch Buffalo Turbine blower, I don't use this anymore. That was the main reason that I bought this tractor, was to pull around that blower. This thing's got 1,040 hours on it. There's no belly mower, but I've got a 3-point hitch finish mower deck on it, and 3-point hitch, all that, everything works. The mower's gonna go with it. So if you know anybody interested, hit me up in the messages or shoot me an email. Usually put my email in the description of the videos. So this shed is completed. Got the driveway in, and I guess I couldn't be happier with how this all turned out for a quick turnaround storage solution. We're going to show you what we're doing in the video today. Got all these driveway markers. I'm not going to use all these, but I've got my entire property here, the driveway that I do. Then down over here at my in-laws' house, I do that entire driveway, and I do down by the mailbox and so on. I do up along this area here. You can see I just started to put one in, put them over there, and it's all mainly to try and keep from gouging into the grass or in the gravel when I'm doing the plowing and all that. I do my own plowing here, do my plowing for down at my in-laws' place, and this handy little tool that I made, kind of overkill, but that's what I do on the channel. But I wanted to show you what I've done with this thing. At the Home Depot, and I picked up a piece of 1/2-inch black iron, 48 inches long, and I cut 8 inches off of the end of it. Kept the threads on this end, put a cap on it, and welded a foot pusher on this end of it. And I've also made a rod spike, if you will. So what this does is it just holds it in place while I'm using it as a post pounder. Push this down, and it brings that rod out and down through. And now it locks it in here. But now I've got a spike on the end of this. So when I go to push a stake in, and if I happen to hit a rock or something like that, where you can't just use the post pounder to push it in, then I can use the stake to actually create a hole first of all. Or if I have, and what I've got here is some 6-foot stakes that I've put the foam golf balls on the end, so the tips of those don't ever hit the truck or anything when I'm coming up the driveway if I get a little sideways or crooked when I'm playing around. And I only use those along the driveway coming up and down the length of that drive there. I'll show you why, what, where, and how I come up with this post pounder idea. It might seem a little excessive, but I put a lot of these driveway markers in. And when I started building this thing, it originally started out as just a tube with a hole in the end, and you load your driveway marker into the end of that, and you flip it over and you use it as a post pounder. I created it so it had a stop on the bottom, so this pipe wouldn't go down into the dirt, so that would stop it. And then I got to thinking, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to need one of these spikes on here for longer ones that I can't shove up in, or the ones with the foam golf balls on it. Ones that don't have that, you just load them up in there. So slide this down, and I made this stick out 8 inches here, so these go in at least 8 inches. And when I don't need it, or I'm just using it as a post pounder, bring this back, lock it off, and put the strap around it. So let me get this back together, show you what we do. So right now, I just take and I load a stake in here, and it's going to put it into that distance there, because from the end of the pipe, it's got the pipe cap on it down to here. That's all the further that's going to go in, and it's about 8 inches, and that's all it needs to go in. So we'll go ahead and get the angle set and pound it in. And I can use the pipe as a visual reference on how far the angle needs to be. And that's pretty simple. As you can see, again, they're in on an angle. It's lined up with about the edge of the driveway both ways. So when I come through here, I stay off the driveway a couple inches, and I don't worry about digging the corner in and scalping that up. Now as I come out and around this corner, I put a couple more stakes in closer together, and that's just to keep me from gouging into the grass on the side here. And again, it's all about the spring cleanup. I don't have a big huge mess and big huge pile of sod that I have to try and pick up. I put the big or the longer ones on this side of the driveway, because when I plow, I always windrow it over that way, and it allows the snow to be pushed into or under that driveway marker and not collapse it or bend it or break it over. And the other thing it does is I'll bring that ball up to the edge of the driveway there. It lets my plow marker hit the driveway marker, and I don't get into trouble with cutting them off, and I don't have to buy and replace them new every single year because I cut a bunch of them off, hitting them with the base of the plow when they're in 90 degrees to the driveway there. So now I got a couple of these shorter ones. They're the 4-foot ones, the same as the other orange ones I was just putting in, but these have the foam golf ball on the top. And like I said, I'm doing that here in this area and down because I don't want these to hit the side of a vehicle if somebody should slip or slide. But now is when I need to use the spike part because I can't load it up into the end of that. Won't go in there. So because I'm the only one I've ever seen put foam balls on the end of these, that's why I had to alter my custom tool, slide the spike out, lock it over, and it's a Velcro zip tie throw on there. Keeps it from bouncing around. So now I've got my spike, and I use the tool on an angle so I know what angle my driveway marker is going to be on. I just do a quick eyeball and say right about there. There, and when you pull your poker out, make sure you have your rod ready for the hole because you don't want to lose it. Now let's head over to the in-laws and get theirs put in. All right, I've got all these down here in, and you can see kind of what I do. Common theme with these is you don't put them in straight. You put them in an angle. That way you hit the top before you hit the bottom. You either slow down or know that you don't need to be over that far into the yard. Again, it doesn't cut it off down here at the base, and it doesn't cut into your grass or your gravel or whatever. So they're all on just the slightest bit of an angle down here. Got them all the way down through the driveway. Again, this all goes back to making life a little bit simpler for myself later on in the springtime. It takes a lot less time to put a driveway marker in than it does to go in there, fix the grass, reseed it, all that. Well, I guess that's the end of over-engineering a simple tool. If any of you guys actually wanted to make one of these, go out, get yourself a 4-foot piece of 1/2-inch black iron pipe, a cap for the end of it, and you don't need to do the rest of this fancy stuff, but that just makes itself a post pounder with a pipe and a cap. We're done. All the driveway markers are in. You can't see them from this far away, but they're in. We're going to go ahead and put it up for the year. That tool worked out really cool. Well, if you've stuck around this long, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanks, and we'll see you again on the next one.